You're listening to the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. Listener discretion is advised at all times.
Hello and thank you once again for downloading and listening to another episode of the Ricky and Clive Wrestling Show. My name's Clive and I'm joined by Ricky. Hello Ricky.
Good evening, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Pleased to announce that we have, for the first time in a while, got a fatal four-way for tonight. We've got JR with us back. How are you doing, JR?
I'm good, how are you all?
Good. And Barry, welcome back to the show.
Hello everybody, and thanks for having me back again. It's great to be here.
It's actually quite fitting, Ricky, isn't it, that we're all four of us here, because although we've been on the Social Suplex Podcast Network, sneaky plug there, for just a few months, we've actually been doing this for a year, and it is the Thursday after the Rumble that we've been doing this since 2017, so happy birthday to one and all.
Happy anniversary. It's been a special year.
Did we say we were going to do something about that, Ricky?
After our first episode, or in the build-up to the first episode, we thought we would reveal something, but I'll leave that down to you to make the reveal.
We said that if we're still doing this podcast after a whole year, then we will reveal our real names. Now, so Barry's real name is... No.
Clive, believe it or not.
So, for those of you who are not idiots, these aren't our real names, and obviously people in the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group will know that my name is Brian Kinsella, right? So we will explain why we have these nicknames in a wee minute, but Clive, do you want to Ricky, do you want to tell them what your real name is?
My real name is Murtaza Zahir, but I go by the name of Mooch. And yep, so like we said, we've kept it under wraps for a year, and I will still like to be known as Ricky though.
Oh, that's your ring name.
And as you can tell by my name, I am actually Asian. that wasn't kayfabe.
The reason that we have these bizarre nicknames is Mooch and myself used to work with each other in a government building which shall remain nameless, and we would phone customers on the phone and they would say, "What's your name, sir?" And I would say Brian, and some guy thought I said Clive, so he was like, "Right, thank you Clive, thanks for letting me know." And
funnily enough, someone called in to the building and wanted to speak to me, and this is a true story. And I said, "My name's Mooch, how can I sort of help, blah blah blah," and they called me Ricky. So the exact same scenario for the both of us, and they somehow got our names completely mixed up. So
that's how we came up with Ricky and Clive. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and do you know what, it's sticking. So we are.
And also a shout out to the Social Suplex guys and anyone else that might listen. We would like you to actually say our name into the group chat or on a tweet to us, please, just to make sure, so we know that you actually do listen to the podcast.
Oh, they do. Don't worry about that.
I know. I'm just being,
So
I know they do.
So you're listening to the Mooch and Brian Wrestling Show, but it doesn't have the same ring to it.
Nah, but I'll never now be known as Mooch. I know what we call Mooch. I'll be Ricky.
You'll get your children to call you Ricky as well.
Yep, Father Ricky.
Right. So, will we talk about some actual wrestling then?
I suppose so.
What we'll do is we'll start off. We introduced the pay-per-view predictions thing to the Wrestling Squared Circle Facebook group this week. So we'll go through them first with regards to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Facebook group got 14 points. They got 10 points for Nakamura, 1 point for AJ, 1 point for Usos, 1 point for the Bar. They said they thought Braun would win. but I don't think they meant that. I think they wanted Braun to win, not... I can't see Braun and Brock. I'm going to just give them a point, right? JR, you got 1 point for the Bar, the Usos, Brock and AJ, but those were the only points you got, so you got 4, and that takes your total up to 61 points. Barry, you got 12 points because you get 10 points for picking Nakamura, and you also got AJ and Brock correct. Ricky, you got 1, 2, 3, 13 points. You picked Asuka, AJ and Brock and the Bar. And myself,
Yeah,
you're on
in my defence, before we continue, in my defence, I wasn't allowed to change my pick from Rusev, remember?
Nobody said you weren't allowed to.
You did.
Moving on. So you had 84 points, Barry, you're on 82 points, and I am back in the lead with 93 points after I got a staggering 24, a clean sweep of Nakamura, Asuka, AJ, Brock, Usos and the Bar. Now I know it might be a wee bit unfair that 10 points were given to the Rumble winner, but you're picking one man out of 30 there and one woman out of 30, so there's plenty of time to catch up. So thanks for joining in. Right, so now we will actually talk about some wrestling. In my humble opinion, now this has sparked a wee bit of a debate. This was my favourite NXT Takeover event so far that we had, the Philadelphia one, and I'll get to why in a wee while, but Barry, why don't you tell us first what you thought about the Takeover Philadelphia on Saturday night?
Well, as it will be known from this pod, not that I'm not a fan of NXT, I just don't find the time to religiously follow it every week. And I must admit, Ricky, yeah. No, sorry, Clive. Well, I agree with you, actually. That's probably the best one I've seen as well. Just for the two matches, really alone, they could have just won it over for me, but I thought the other matches were quite interesting as well. But weirdly enough, Extreme Rules match wasn't the match of the night, it belonged to the NXT title match. That was just... That's what wrestling's all about, that match. It's why we love it so much. It's just out and out, if you're trying to teach somebody how to wrestle, watch this match.
Speaking of the Extreme Rules match, JR, I was, as you know, I was texting you back and forth about Aleister Black, or Tommy End as he was known, and I had went down the Insane Championship Wrestling rabbit hole looking at videos of Tommy End in ICW, and I was really pumped for his match, and it didn't disappoint. I would go so far as to say that was one of the better weapons matches that WWE have put on in quite some time. What do you think about that?
I thought it was a good match. I think like those two guys have definitely got their character down, so it kind of felt like a big deal. A big deal, and
What I will say is I remember saying that a few texts saying that their two matches would be hard to beat that whole weekend actually, and there's a good chance they still are hard to beat.
In terms of match quality, they are hard to beat. But I do want to quickly touch on the other matches first, if I can find the sort of wee notes that I jotted down about it. The tag title match. Where are we? Here we go. I really enjoyed the tag title match, much more than I thought I would. People will know I'm not a huge fan of Authors of Pain, but I think War Games suited their style. But I think I enjoyed the story of their weakness in this one, where you had Razor's leg being the focal point, the injury that he had. I know that's typical fare, but to use that story in the sort of failed attempt at a super collider, that was really good. It feels like a while since we've had a sort of just back to basics tag match in NXT, so that I did enjoy that, and they did use that same sort of injury throughout a match with Shayna Baszler and Ember Moon, when Ember Moon was just being destroyed by Shayna Baszler. That was an awesome hype video as well for that women's match. But I enjoyed the finish of that as well. I thought it made both of them look strong, where you had Baszler was just brutal, with the armbar stuff, but Ember to get the sneaky win with the sort of tight gripped roll up. I thought that made both of them look strong, so I did enjoy that. The Velveteen Dream Cassius Ohno, that was good. It's not Velveteen Dream's best match. It wasn't as good as the Aleister Black one that he had last TakeOver, but Velveteen Dream is one over man right now, so keep going, keep getting him on the takeovers where you've got a slightly increased audience of people watching him. I think there's really good things destined for him, and if he's handled well, then the sky's the limit. But the talking point, and it has just been announced as well, JR, you told us earlier that the Andre Dalmas and Johnny Gargano match got 5 stars from Mr. Dave Meltzer.
Oh yes.
Would you agree with that?
I think that there's kind of like a weird air about the two of them, like Gargano and Almas now. They kind of feel like they kind of felt big time. Do you know what I mean? The wrestling skill was really there. The selling and the facial expressions throughout the match was amazing. Like the speed, like, because at the start, like, obviously they were doing the kind of more catch wrestling kind of stuff, and then they moved into just like pretty much just going at a really high pace. So there was like different stories throughout. It was really, really good. Good use of Vega, good use of Gargano's wife as well.
Aye.
And then it was really good. So yeah, 5 stars, probably justified. And I don't know why they didn't use Gargano in the Rumble.
That would have... I mean, I was happy that Almas got used in the Rumble, but can you imagine the pop if Gargano went out there? I suppose they were probably trying to sell the whole thing with him being attacked.
Yeah, that's what I thought, because I was expecting to see him in the Rumble as well, but that guy can sell, can't he? He can sell injury really well.
The whole
Pure,
stunt.
total old school. So that's probably the reason behind it. That's probably why he didn't appear in the Rumble.
I will go on record as saying that's probably the best WWE match I've seen in a long, long time, and I might even go as far back as Triple H and HBK, Undertaker at their first WrestleMania encounter.
What do you mean, CM Punk and Cena? Aye, 5 stars. That one.
Money in the Bank.
Aye.
That's
aye.
No. Okay.
It's the best NXT match I've seen since probably Nakamura and Sami Zayn.
That was also an excellent match. Ricky, what were your thoughts on the takeover? And that match especially?
Opening match, kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was a solid start to a good pay-per-view. I really like Fish. I think he's really, really good. Velveteen Dream, every single time I see him now, I'm just getting more and more impressed, and I didn't even think it was kind of possible for that to sort of happen. Just purely because how impressed I have been, I didn't think it was possible for me to continue being that impressed and continue being that blown away by him. The match between Aleister Black and Adam Cole had some right brutal moments in it.
I know.
I really enjoyed that match. The women's match as well. The right women win, but I think at the same time, like you say, they've kept both women strong, especially what they've done after the match. I've been on record saying I'm a massive, massive, massive fan of Ember Moon. And I really look forward to when she eventually comes up to the main roster, because I think she'll do really well. I think her wrestling skills are every bit as good as anyone's I've seen in terms of the women. And then moving on to that main event, 5 stars. It's fine. At the end of the day, that's just one man's opinion, but it's someone whose opinion carries a lot of weight. It was justified. Unbelievable. And then obviously we get the thing after the match, which could lead to obviously it's going to lead to another match down the road. But that match itself, I've got to say, whether WWE do it or not, I don't know if they ever will. But in Johnny Gargano, you have got, without a doubt, the biggest babyface of your company if you wanted to pull the trigger on him. If he was brought up to the main roster, you're talking about the biggest babyface since Daniel Bryan, without a doubt in my mind.
That's a big claim.
I'm not going to say he's going to be as over as Daniel Bryan, etc. But that, without a doubt in my mind, probably along with Sami Zayn, are the 2 biggest babyfaces you could get, and I think Gargano's just special. And I think you've got something really special in him.
I think with Gargano, you've got something more special than Sami, and that kind of hurts because see, when I was like watching that match, like that was the thing I was thinking. I'm like, who have they got babyface wise that's better than this? And I was like, Sami, and I'm like, no, like he's better than that now, like because he's like fucking, he's been hitting the fucking gym hard as well, and he fucking looks good out there. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's got the full character.
See, I think that as well, and I think in terms of being that sort of sympathetic babyface, like the underdog, I would say more so Gargano, but I think in terms of pure wrestling ability, Sami, in my mind, is one of the top 5 without a doubt in that company. So in that sense, but like I say, I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. I think if you pull the trigger with either one, you're literally going to have this babyface. It's just going to be so huge and could do so much business and bring in so much money. But it's whether or not they actually pull the trigger with when the problem is, I mean, when you look at him size-wise, etc., you just know he's most likely going to be destined to go to 205. And no disrespect to 205, but he's such a wasted talent on that.
He is.
He would be. I mean, I'm not. He might not go there, but I'm just projecting ahead in my mind.
See,
I think it's they fucking let them off the leash on 205, and you get like people like Roderick Strong in there.
He's on next week.
More stars. Like, yeah, he's on next week, aye. I mean, fucking, you could end up with a really fucking cool division there, and I think that's the only way that Gargano really survives 205 Live, is if just they keep pumping talent into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've obviously got a plan with him in mind with the attack from Ciampa at the end, and I was, at first, when I saw what had happened, I was a wee bit underwhelmed by what happened, but I thought, you know what, Ciampa's actually probably still legitimately injured, so that was enough for me. But Ricky, what were your thoughts on Ciampa's actions at the end?
Fuck that baldy bastard. In kayfabe sense, not personal, but fuck Ciampa. Just like you said, he's obviously still legit injured because he had the knee brace on. Whether or not we can start, I don't actually know. We'll get that match at Mania now. I didn't think he. I thought he would come down and interfere in the match, and I think a few of us thought that. But it's obviously going to lead to a match, obviously down the road. But when that is, don't know. But it just makes you hate Ciampa even more.
I mean, in this day and age where the heels get cheered, he is a hated figure in the wrestling world.
And I think, to be honest, not a lot, but a lot. Yes, a lot. I suppose not a lot, but not all of it. I think comes down to Gargano and how much of a sympathetic babyface he is, and how much people love him, and how much people love DIY. And it was almost like that Kevin Owens Jericho moment where the KO turned on Jericho, and everyone was heartbroken because we all knew it was going to come, but I don't think anyone was like emotionally prepared for it.
So it was an effective. That first time they did it was effective, and this wasn't as effective because it was kind of, people knew that was going to happen, but it was still a traumatic moment.
Say it was. I would say people knew it was going to happen, but see, once that match ended, I didn't think it was going to happen. Then I was like, right, well, if he was going to come down, it would have been to cost him a title, which he never happened. But then as you saw him walking back up, and you're like, right, you kind of expect something to happen now because that's how it went down last time. And that's how it went down as well with when Adam Cole debuted as well. So got the impression just a couple of minutes after the match that something might happen. But I think once the bell rang, I was like, right, well, Ciampa's not coming. So in that sense, it sort of did still come as a slight surprise.
I didn't see that coming either, to be honest with you. I kind of thought it killed the sort of mood after that. Even though it was the last match, it sort of kind of deflated the whole match for me. I didn't see the need for it, although I don't follow it religiously, so maybe there was a need for it to happen. It was expected, like you're saying, but I don't know if it was the right time. Maybe I'm wrong, but
one of the things they need to watch out for at the takeovers is the last few, I don't think they did it last time, but when the graphic comes up at the end, see the wee copyright graphic logo? Something usually happens after that.
That's what I was saying. They've done that now, I think, 3 times, because like I say, we've done it the first time Gargano, or the first time Ciampa attacked Gargano, and then I'm pretty certain they've done it when Drew won the title and Adam Cole debuted. I'm sure the graphic came on at that point.
I know they have done it. It's just they need to watch that people don't expect that all the time. But I would say I love the show, and I did a wee poll on the Facebook group again where it was, I think, the top 3 overall. Where this one, the Dallas one that JR was at, and also the first Brooklyn one where you had Sasha versus Bayley, another belter of a match. But this one, for me, if I had 3 hands, I would give it 3 thumbs up. That's how much I enjoyed that takeover. So, will we move on to Sunday night then?
That'd be great.
Barry, what were your thoughts on... I mean, I personally had no issues with this at all, but were you happy with the women closing the show?
The booking, sorry, just sort of cut out a wee bit there for yourself.
Sorry, I was just saying, were you happy with the women closing the show? The Royal
women
Rumble?
Closing, sorry. Well, as you know, I watched it live, and it came as a big shock to me when they said it was the men's Royal Rumble coming next, which was the third match. It took me a few minutes to sort of register what was going on, actually, so I didn't have the time to register because I was watching it live. So I then started to think, oh, that'll mean because Ronda Rousey's going to win it. So I had that in my head. I'd seen previous rumours beforehand that said Undertaker was spotted in Philadelphia, so I thought, well, if he's spotted, he's going to interfere or enter the Rumble, so it'll be on last. So that's how it also came as a shock to me that it was third. But at the time I did, but I never had it when it happened because it was absolutely tremendous. Potentially better than the guys' one.
I really enjoyed the both of them. The women's one, I was emotionally touched by it. I was just really enjoying it, and it was a real feel-good Rumble. And I popped when Lita came out. I didn't pop when Lita nearly killed herself with that moonsault. That was horrific. She shouldn't wrestle again. That was hard to watch, to be honest, which was a shame.
She looked quite heavy as well.
I didn't really... She just looked a bit slow and laborious. But
there's a picture of them all standing together, and compared to the current woman, compared to her, you could just see she was out of shape.
I tell you who was in shape, Molly Holly. Get her back on the main roster right now.
I know.
She was amazing.
But what she done when she came out later was set the tone that then I went, oh, here we go, we're getting lots of legends on this.
One thing, JR, what are your thoughts on this? That quite a lot of the legends were eliminating the current roster, and I think there was a bit too much of that going on in the Women's Rumble especially.
I think because nobody really gives a fuck about Nikki Bella, Brie Bella, or fucking, I don't know, Michelle McCool. I think Michelle McCool put out like 5 people.
No.
Excuse me, trying to like get your current roster over, so they should be eliminating the legends, because that means next year you don't need to rely on so many fucking gimmick people coming in, and maybe have a Rumble match like the one that happened later on,
Aye.
I think that's a good point, but I've just seen it in a way that they felt a wee bit bad back in the day. Elite and that were known as divas, and they never got an opportunity to be in a Rumble like this, so maybe they just thought a few of them deserve to eliminate some up-and-comer members of the roster. Just a thought I had.
Ricky, what were your thoughts on the Women's Rumble?
First of all, I was also surprised they closed. To me, when the same with Barry, when it took me a minute to realise they said the men's one was next. I thought I misheard it until they started, then entry number 1 came out, and I was kind of blown away, but in a good sense. And then it didn't actually register with me that Ronda Rousey could be in the Rumble. Like, my mindset was like, oh well, they've put in the women for last because it's it's like a big moment. So I was like, right, that's cool with me. In terms of some of the legends coming back, I thought Michelle. Yeah, I agree with John Ross with the Michelle McCool thing, but I thought also she looked excellent. I completely agree with you about the Bellas. Couldn't care less about them. Never want to see them again. Trish Stratus looked unbelievable, and she got a massive pop as well. But I've got to admit, the biggest pop for me personally came when Vicky Guerrero came out.
That was amazing.
just when you heard the "excuse me," it was just like, oh, this is excellent. Because to be honest, she is arguably the biggest female heel that I've ever seen.
I don't think it's arguably. She was a bad lady.
I think for a period, Stephanie McMahon, even though we hated her, she was really, really grating on my nerves for a long time, especially sort of in the Attitude Era as well. But Vicky Guerrero, the amount of heat she would get on a weekly basis was ridiculous. Overall, the right women win. Overall, we got a couple of stories coming out of that as well. Ronda Rousey debuting as well. People have got different opinions about that. But overall, I did enjoy the women's match. I think one of my favourite moments was when Trish Stratus and Mickie James faced off against one another.
Yeah,
because their feud was just amazing. And I agree. I think that's why a lot of the female wrestlers from the past came in. It was because, like I said, it was a big moment, and a lot of them, especially Lita and Trish Stratus, done so much and paved the way for the women wrestlers as today. So overall, I agree. It sort of tugged at your old heartstrings because it was good to see a lot of the older women come back. And like I said, you get several storylines from it. And overall, I really did enjoy it, especially for a first ever women's Rumble. I thought it was really good.
Oh, it was excellent. We'll touch on the rest of the pay-per-view in a minute, especially the guys' Rumble as well. But JR, you were wanting to speak specifically about Ronda Rousey, correct?
Aye. Just can we do that at the end? Because she came in at the end, didn't she?
Right. Okay, that's fine. Well, what did you think of the rest of the cards? A lot of people online have said that was the best men's Rumble they've ever had. Do you think that's a wild claim to make, or would you agree? It's definitely the best in the last few years, that's for sure.
I wasn't bored at any time.
Yeah.
Like that's just a good sign of a good Rumble. Like, I was very entertained throughout it, and there was a lot of fucking individual stories, and it kind of felt like the passing of the guard. You know what I mean? Like when you had Cena there, versus the other three guys. I mean, that was amazing. And then Nakamura winning it. I mean, I really wanted to predict that, but I was just nah, they're never going to pull the trigger on this guy. They're just they've just pulled him just to get him away from New Japan. They're just going to make him Raw, and then oh man, Nakamura versus AJ Styles. Oh, fuck me.
We've said this for a while though. I think we said it from SummerSlam that it is going to be Naka AJ we felt that, and the fact that we could, I'm going to say potentially get it, because you just never know, do you? It's just going to be amazing. Just give them 25 minutes belt to belt, and don't restrict them, and just let them do what they want to do, sort of thing. And just, oh my goodness, I can't wait.
See, to be honest, they can do at WrestleMania, Vince can do whatever he wants with the rest of the card, but does you see those two? Just leave them alone and let them do their thing.
Yep, completely agree. I couldn't care less. See if I get a subpar WrestleMania, right, for all those other matches, but see if you give these guys 25 minutes with no strings, do what you want, no leash, then I'll be more than happy. I'll accept the shit that comes after it and before it, as long as get a 5-star potential match with them two.
Are you happy with the outcome, Barry?
I was indeed, yep. To touch on your earlier point, was it the best Rumble ever? Probably not, but it was definitely in my top 5. Like JR said, I wasn't bored at any point. There's been a few years there recently, there's just been parts of it no need for. Of course, some of the entrances were, as always, scripted. We know the majority of them are anyway, but there's just certain points where they do the wee cheesy, somebody will come down so that person can eliminate them, sort of thing. But apart from that, I was really happy. I enjoyed the sort of passing of the torch bit when it was Cena, Mysterio and Orton on one side, and then it was Finn Balor, Roman Reigns, and then Nakamura on the other side, and it came down to the last 6. I thought that was really good.
Speaking of Mysterio, my word.
Oh, can I actually say I turned it over? There's a channel, you're probably aware, there's a free sports channel that kicks about these days.
Right.
It's on normal TV and Sky TV. I turned it over. It's 424. It is on Sky. 5-star wrestling for Liverpool. And Rey Mysterio was on that there.
Was he?
Aye, it was just he was fighting some random guy, but I was thinking maybe he was back into shape on these sort of promotions so they can come back into WWE. But I'm not really sure what his status is now, to be honest. I don't know if it was a one-off appearance or...
It wasn't even a case he was in the form that he was in the early 2000s, but he even got rid of the Okada pants for his like WCW gear from the like mid-90s with a tight...
They get rid of his roid belly as well.
Was that I was going to ask you that photo surfaced to him a few years ago. Was that real?
It looked real.
He looked like a complete tank.
Oh, but he looked in absolute amazing shape though.
On Sunday there?
That time, the photo?
No, on Sunday.
Oh, there, he looks as if he's...
Sunday he looks... on Sunday he looks sensational.
Aye, I actually wouldn't be adverse to him coming back. I know I've got an issue with part-timers, but see someone like him, we were talking earlier about beefing up that 205 Live division. Get him in there. He only has to work once or twice a week. I'd be all for that. You know I'm a big 205 Live mark, so anything that will help it get over, I'm happy. So I would give special mention to him. Also, I would say that was actually the best I've seen Baron Corbin be used in a long time. There wasn't any chance of him winning, so get rid of him, but have him have a temper tantrum and just lay waste to everyone that's in his path. That got the momentum going, that got the tone going for the Rumble early doors. He started off the whole Heath Slater demolition derby. Shout out as well to Elias. That guy's coming on leaps and bounds in a big bad way. And he's
that guy's money.
He is. Like, I mean, he's already been qualified for the Chamber match in the upcoming Chamber event.
And you know what? I'm gonna give you props, because I remember you saying to me that when he comes to the main roster, he could either get lost, but Vince could love him. It certainly seems that way. So I'll give you props for that, because you predicted that a long time ago.
It's not that Vince just loves him though, but it's the fact that he's actually fucking like he's dealing with the fucking lines they're giving him and actually making the crowd fucking boo like fuck. And he's decent in the ring as well, so like it's
and he's fucking ripped.
Yeah,
he's great.
He's some
fucking Randy Savage like motherfucker.
Oh, he really does, man. He's good. Everything about him. It's an absolute star.
So I'm undecided if it was the best Rumble I've seen. It is the best Rumble in recent years. I've got very fond memories of the early 2000s ones, 2009 as well, when Randy Orton was, when he was like the really brutal boss punting Viper. I really liked that Rumble, the one where Edge won in 2010 as well. So I don't know, it was still good, and I know I got a bit of flack from you guys on the WhatsApp because I was saying it wasn't the best ever, but I was quietly satisfied. At no point throughout that match was I annoyed with anything, and there was more of a sort of quiet relief within me that the right man won the Rumble. If there was anything that I was annoyed with over the whole course of the pay-per-view, it would be the suddenness of the 2 out of 3 falls match between American Alpha and... Sorry, that's terrible. American Alpha 2 versus the Usos.
Benjables?
The Benjables. I mean, I know...
You know, see, before we go on to that, I just want to quickly say a couple of things about the Rumble. Can I never say too much there? This is like the third year or fourth or whatever, third year in a row or whatever, that Roman Reigns has ultimately been used in to help someone else get quote unquote over. Say what you want about him, but the guy does what he does, and he's absolutely sensational. And I will say, when it came down to that final four, and this is what I love about the Rumble, and I haven't genuinely felt it in a long time, I had no idea who was going to win. At one point I thought it was going to be Finn, and then I thought, oh, they're actually going to be Cena. And then when it came down to the final two, I just thought they won't pull the trigger with Naka. I thought it was going to be Roman. So for me, it definitely was probably the best Rumble I've watched in certainly the last sort of 5 to 10 years. And the other thing I really liked about it was we didn't get many returning guys like quote unquote legends. We had Hurricane Helms, and that was about it. And I liked that.
Mysterio.
There's a couple of Mysterio as well. So there was two. I can deal with that. The biggest thing I took from, not the biggest thing I took from it, for me, and I know how you guys feel. What was the point in giving Dolph Ziggler that number 30 spot?
None.
Because when it hit through that sort of record scratch and then his music came on, I jumped out my seat because I was so happy. And then
I did that big fart.
I'll tell you now, if for me, if Ziggler came back in that Rumble at number 30, he needs to win it. Simple as that, or don't fucking bring him back. What was the point in doing the quote-unquote I'm finished, retired storyline or whatever it is for him not to come back and win the Rumble? But worse than that is he wasn't even on fucking SmackDown. Look, what the hell are you doing with the guy?
You brought him back,
no sense.
and he never had a new gimmick. It was just the same old Dolph Ziggler. Look at me, I fucking like hair metal. Like, get to fuck, mate.
You had a chance to like you said, reinvent him, bring him back, and you had a chance to for him to finally fulfil the potential he's always had, and for what? Like, I'm all happy Nakamura win it, but just don't bring Dolph back. Like, that done absolutely nothing for me. In the story, I like the storyline they were going with, but you brought him back for what reason?
They've damaged
he's
him
the
in a
kind of
big
guy
way.
that probably he's been consulted about that. Like, look, Dolph, you're going to come back. You're going to win it. He's like, nah, I don't want to win it. Just I'll show up for 5 minutes and get eliminated. Do something random.
No, to me it just makes absolute no sense at all. No sense at all.
Oh man.
One flaw I did notice, I don't know if it was ever followed up on, but I generally think, even though Finn Balor was in there for 57 minutes or something, was it?
Mm-hmm.
He eliminated 2 guys, is that right?
No, it was more than that. It was about 4, I think. But there was a big
Well,
gap.
it's WWE.com. This came first once I messaged about it.
Aye, but WWE.com don't know who Chris Benoit is either, so I wouldn't take their stats.
Jesus. So I had to question it because the way they'd done the chart thing, it looked a bit funny. It was I think above him was Rusev, and I was trying to work out how many he eliminated. If he eliminated 4, put it this way, they were trying to claim Rusev eliminated nobody, which I don't think's true.
Finn must have eliminated someone more than 2.
Rusev should have
see
won
when
the
I started
fucking
to think
Rumble.
back at it, there was
Right.
random points where people were.
I'm going to
coming
go on the observer and get the
down. Finn Balor
snubble.
was out the ring quite a bit as well. At points, there was a couple of random bits where
Aye,
somebody
yeah,
went
you get-
down.
That's what
Gets
happens.
the attention.
That's what happens with the Iron Men performances, though. If they're in it for an hour and change, they're going to have a wee lie down and a nap.
To be fair, actually, I remember the early 90s Rumbles. The guys who were always expecting to have the Iron Men were Rick Martel's, Greg Valentine, and I don't think they really eliminated many folk. They were always in Rumbles for about 40 odd minutes.
Aye.
And they were mid-carders at the time, and
While
it was a sweaty mess.
while JR looks that up, I quite enjoyed both the world title matches. I thought they did the best that they could with the handicap match, and it was actually a good wrestling match, good wrestling quality on show there, and it was a clean win as far as I'm aware for AJ Styles. So that was
Maybe
good.
a bit shorter than I thought the match, to be fair. I thought it might have lasted a wee bit longer, but when I seen it was the opener, you don't tend to find an opening match as long as you would want it to be, I suppose.
I think they had time.
You would
issues.
never see like a half-hour opening match, though.
I know, and I did actually enjoy the Universal title match more than I thought I would.
That exceeded expectations, aye, definitely.
There was a sort of chaos about it where I know there were like weapons and tables and stuff, but it was Kane was basically just sitting there for a while and then taking big bumps, and see the bit where Brock Lesnar F5'd Kane onto the commentary table, but he landed on the side of one of their wee tablet monitors.
Oh, God,
It was organised chaos. That's what it was.
And
apart from when Braun needs Brock in the head, and then Brock legit got up and gave him 2 punches and legit staggered Braun.
for the remainder of the match.
But Clive, you said that it was a clean finish
well,
in the first.
Right. Was it not?
I suppose, right, but I'm going to go on a different angle, so if you don't mind, I might just start ranting just now, so please feel free to cut me off, because I could go on for a while.
okay.
So
I've just cut you off. Good night, everyone.
So Sammy is trying to tag in AJ. Sorry, try to tag in KO. Tags him in, air quotes there. Replay shows they never touched, right? On the same fucking programme, they're on SmackDown. They restarted the tag title match because of a replay. But yet you can't even keep that same fucking continuity going to this match. it's not even as if it was a SmackDown match and a Raw match. They were both on the fucking SmackDown brand, and you can't even do that. I understand from a storyline point of view they're going to continue, or KO and Sami are continuing to get screwed over by Shane and they're not happy. But that was fucking bullshit. Are we just supposed to forget that this just happened a couple of weeks ago, and you showed replay to restart the match, but you're not going to do it here? I can't say it spoiled the match anything because I thought the match was solid. I thought it was a good start to the show. It was, like I said, sometimes it's difficult to have those kind of great matches with a 1-on-2 sort of handicap match, etc. Because it's not a triple threat. So it's not ideal. But I thought it was a good match. But like I say, that never spoiled it for me. It baffled me, and it's like, how stupid do you think we are that we're not going to pick up on that? To me, I thought it was fucking stupid as hell, and it just irritated the life of me when I saw that. I was like, right, so what was the fucking point in doing that a couple of weeks ago? Why wouldn't you just give the Usos a clean win rather than doing the fucking, they pinned the wrong guy, now we get another ref down, we go to replay?
Well, I totally forgot about it at the time, but I do remember them noticing that the tag was never made in that match, actually.
It's like,
the Rumble.
It's just simple wee things that just, they don't, I don't know if they don't think about it, I genuinely think that they just look at it and say, it's fine, that was a couple of weeks ago, no one remembers, it doesn't really make a difference now. We can just do what we want.
There are continuity issues with SmackDown. I mean, all of a sudden, Shane and Daniel Bryan are best pals now again.
I know.
Because when Bobby Roode got coronated with the US title, they were all smiles and claps in the ring. And then when Nakamura won the Royal Rumble, they were backstage where Daniel Bryan had put a wet comb through his hair.
Mm.
And also, they must be winching again.
and also a guy quits the brand, but they allow him to come back at the Royal Rumble. Cool, mate.
Cool story, bro.
It's just frustrating. It's just simple little things.
That's SmackDown's problem. It's been like that for a long time. I had high hopes for Sami Zayn's heel turn, but it's been a collection of missed opportunities, I think, over the last few months.
Because they don't pull the fucking trigger on him. That's the problem.
Well, I said it about Gargano, right? But Sami Zayn is a monster babyface in the making, and you're just not doing it with him. Like, I like this whole heel turn. It was something different. I got excited about it. But see if you turn Sami face, like, you've got an absolute massive star on your hands.
Vince doesn't like him.
Do you know what it is? KO is his edge and Sami Zayn is the Christian.
Oh wow, what an analogy.
Oh fuck, he's fucked.
That's it.
But that
he
means
needs to go to TNA.
It does. He needs to go to Impact.
That's a really good analogy. I'm going to use that as a sort of quote to put it on Twitter and just share it and make it go viral.
And take credit for it, that's fine, I don't mind.
No, not at all. I'm just... leave me alone.
We're brothers, you can do what you want.
That's fine. Before we start fighting, JR, is there anything else you guys want to say about the rest of the Rumble before we touch on Ronda Rousey's appearance? No?
Nope.
Right.
Yeah, this is somewhat Rumble related and somewhat not, but apparently Seth is injured.
Oh no, don't say that.
He's apparently dealing with a back injury, and at the time, see, when I watched that match, it never dawned on me that why they'd done that with Jason Jordan until you said the next day. It was like, remember, he's missed live events and he's injured, so kind of made sense. And I felt bad for Seth because he was sort of put in a bad situation in that, but
kayfabe wise, he had a bad night, Seth, didn't he?
He really did have a bad night. First, one of his best mates throws him out of the Rumble, which was a fucking boss move by Roman, and then he loses the tag titles. And I think that might tie in with it. It might be hurt because I don't think he was on Raw either.
No, that worries me that both of them are injured because that's not even quietly. I've been loving that storyline, and although the match might have seemed a wee bit dead, probably just because of replacement, but that wasn't a showcase tag team title match. That was a continuation of the ongoing struggles between Royal.
And I think what it was, you felt it was kind of dead. In fact, because like you said, it wasn't an actual tag match either, and Seth was in there doing it all himself purely because Jason Jordan was injured and that. So It was a shame because I was looking forward to that match, but like I say, Jason Jordan's injury must be a lot more serious than we thought.
Get well soon, JJ, please. Right.
That'd be a shame if Seth's injury prolongs in, because that was last year's Mania. He struggled to be there for as well.
I know. Right.
And the year before that, obviously missed it.
So he did.
Ronda Rousey time.
Actually, I thought Mania jinx for him.
I know.
Yep. Shall I go then?
Right, JR, hit us with your chat. I know you've been wanting to talk about Rousey.
Aye, so basically this is the Rousey problem, a case study by good old JR, oh boy. So basically I've just been thinking about like Ronda Rousey, now she's going to be here, what do I think is going to happen, how can they utilise her? So like WWE have got a chance here because she is a star, a legit draw, and one of the main reasons why UFC did so well, right? But she's actually said that she's she's all in, like she's going to be full time and she's not going to be bullshitting around. So she's been training since last summer, which would give her, I think, around about a year or something like that. And like wrestling Jesus, Kurt Angle, he was a duck to water, you know, and apparently one of the quickest learners. Within about a year, he was amazing in the WWE. We've also had like people like Matt Riddle and NXT's Shayna Baszler, who have like fighting backgrounds, and you can see how quickly like both of them like have learned and like developed characters and all that kind of stuff. So I think there's a lot of like core fundamentals that if you're a fighter, like allows you to transition into being like a wrestler, but actually doing it like pretty fast. So, and I think like the modern style in WWE right now like fits really nicely with like MMA, because you see a lot of like strikes and MMA holds, like arm bars, kimuras, and all that kind of stuff. So all that stuff is looking good, but we might have issues, like, because I don't think that she's a good talker, in all honesty. Like, if she's cutting promos, like, I think that it's not going to go down like too well. I think that she needs a manager, and I would say that if Heyman is like fucking, like, if Brock's leaving after Mania, that Heyman should be her mouthpiece, because then she can just like be like sitting there and just let fucking Heyman do his thing, and she can like react to it, like just like not talking that much. She really needs that bad motherfucker face back that she didn't have on Sunday, because she looked like a fucking lost girl with a fucking leather jacket. Like it was like 4 sizes too big for it. This wasn't good. She didn't look tough. That's not the Ronda Rousey that people like. She only to go through something similar to like what Braun Strowman went through after he was fucking rebooted after that Wyatt run. They did a lot of smoke and mirrors for Braun, and they'll need to do squashes, jobber matches. Like, she's going to need to be built really slowly. We want to know, like we want to make this character like larger than life, basically. And I think one of the other things that will happen is that it will highlight the women's division. But that's why you're going to need like the 4 horsewomen back on Raw, because like they're going to need, like, because there's going to be like so fucking much like attention and media attention like on this women's division. They're going to need to bring like the standard of wrestling up. So 4 horsewomen, they're all on Raw, and basically Sasha needs to be like kind of part of that, because she done fucking a shitload of work at that Rumble, and she's fucking, I think, next to Flair, like, is the fucking standard bearer of women's wrestling in WWE. If they bring that standard up, then you can actually have like Rousey just rumbling about at the bottom, and then she can boil the way up to the top. I understand that a lot of people are pissed off at Rousey because she's like fucking taking the attention away from the girls. However, how many more people have got eyes on the product because she was right there at the end? She wasn't in the Rumble, just there at the end. It's just like the full stop. She's going to bring eyes onto the product, and she's probably going to like actually create fans, like old and new. The segments are good. Then it's got a potential to give us fucking a shitloads of like fucking good women's matches, because I think like I can't really remember anything outside of maybe Charlotte and Sasha and maybe Charlotte and Bayley of like the standard that we used to get on NXT on the main roster. Like it's been good. It's been better than average. It's been a lot better than it was before. But they're going to need to like bring the standard up. And I think that if they're going to stack the women's roster on Raw, then SmackDown should become more of a developmental kind of thing.
Or
and I think
Asuka
that,
over there, because Asuka's.
Yep.
Sorry,
exactly.
Aye, on you go.
That's it. Like that's the end of my point. Like I think if they do that, that would solve Rousey. Like, but what could happen is she could fucking come in and she could just be shite.
Well, that might be an unpopular opinion that you've just voiced so articulately. Again, the articulate Laurie JR. Her appearance has been very divisive. I'm still not sure. I'm a bit not cynical. That's not the right word. I felt that she stole a bit of the limelight, but at the same time, she didn't win the Rumble. She wasn't in the Rumble, so I really can't complain. And when Asuka slapped away her proffered handshake, that's what I popped for. Asuka's like, excuse me, who do you think you are? Get away from me. That was just top notch.
Her face was amazing.
Aye.
Like, just get to fuck.
Barry, what are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey coming in?
Well, like you said, I mean, she didn't win the Rumble, which I thought was happening because it was going to be the main event. I think I would have been more annoyed if she was coming in as a part-time role, but as far as I'm led to believe, she's saying it's going to be a full-time role. So I can kind of see a point. Why not then? What's the problem with her coming in and showing what she's made of? Because we don't know what she's like in the ring wrestling-wise. She could be great for all we know. We could be sitting here in a few weeks' time saying it's Ronda and then it's the rest. You know, you just don't know. So I didn't have that much of a problem with it because I don't really know where they would have fitted her in otherwise. Obviously, it was part of the deal. She's saying she was a big wrestling fan anyway for the start, for the get-go. So this is her life now. But was what part of the deal. Triple H and Stephanie said, well, if you're committing to us, then we'll have the Women's Rumble main event so that you can appear as the last part of the show. So it's, as they said, broke the internet. So no, I think it would have been a bit of a letdown had she just appeared in the Raw. So I think it was the right time for her to appear at the Rumble, especially at the end of it, and not to appear in it. So I would give it time before I actually make any sort of opinion on it, but I do think it looked like she was nervous and might struggle in the mic as well, to be honest. So she would need some sort of go to some mic skills with Roman Reigns or something and try and get pumped up for that, you know. So that's my opinion. So I'll voice a further opinion, I think, in a while once I've actually got a proper eyes on her.
Ricky?
I think when you look at it, that was their second biggest show of the year. You've got so many eyes on it already. So for me, it made sense. Why not bring her in? If your lasting impression of the Women's Royal Rumble is Ronda Rousey, then you didn't appreciate what you witnessed the hour before it. When I think of the Women's Royal Rumble, I don't think of Ronda Rousey. I do think of her, but that's not my immediate thought. My immediate thought is Asuka. My immediate thought is everything I saw before it, and then Ronda Rousey will come into that as well. But by all accounts, she definitely is a wrestling fan. She grew up a massive wrestling fan, and she was a massive Roddy Piper fan. That's where she gets her name from, and that's why when you saw her the t-shirts wearing and the stuff that came up in the Titantron, it was the same colours as Roddy Piper. It was the red and the yellow, and it's the same sort of design, etc. So she definitely is a wrestling fan. People were giving her grief because she's apparently she is full time. She's going to be there all the time, she says, but yet she wasn't there the next day. Well, she's already had prior commitments. Like, it wasn't her decision to come into the Royal Rumble. It'll help the women's wrestling an awful lot, because say what you want about her, maybe her star power isn't what it was a couple of years ago, and it isn't, but she's still a massive name, and she's the one that put women's MMA where it is now. say what you want about her fighting, who she fought, and you can say what you want about her record, and people say she mentally caved in after she lost her first fight or whatever, etc. But she put women's MMA on the map, and that her name carries an awful lot of weight to it, and she will bring an awful lot of more eyes and money into the product. I think her not being in the Rumble, and if she was in the Rumble and win it, that would have pissed me off more. I don't care what people say, you can train all you want, but she won't be ready to main event Mania. I agree with John Ross that you just sort of build her in, you have all these squash matches to eventually crown her the queen of that division. I think what they've done with her and Asuka last night was the start of a very, very slow build and tease of her and Asuka potentially at next year's Mania. So for me, I'm all for it. I'm happy to see her in there. I'm looking forward to seeing it. In terms of getting someone in as a mouthpiece, that's fine with me. I'd like to see how she does beforehand. I think I'd imagine she probably could cut a promo, especially see if they were never going to have her come in. I don't think there's a heel because it was such a big thing. So I think eventually down the line, she'll probably turn her heel and just have her as this the female version of Brock Lesnar.
But they've got that in Shayna Baszler already.
But Ronda Rousey's sensational.
Well,
like, I'm sorry, I get what you're saying about Shayna Baszler, but when you put the two of them next to each other, it's Ronda Rousey's so much higher on the food chain.
Right.
That's the one that you turn. That's the one you turn heel, and that's the one you have as that the female Brock Lesnar, in my opinion, anyway. And I think in terms of when she came out, the jacket, I read the report on Twitter, the jacket she was wearing, that was actually given to her by Roddy Piper's son. I think it was one of Roddy Piper's jackets.
That's true.
So that's fine. I find that's nicer to do that, and she did look nervous, etc. But those nerves will go, and I think she was probably more so nervous because, like I said, because she was such a massive wrestling fan and she finally gets to do it, etc. So I'm all for it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go with it. And like I say, there could be a lot of money and some unbelievable matches we're about to see as well, providing how she does.
We ended up getting a good match with Asuka and Sasha on Raw the next night. Wee bit of criticism there from some folk when Sasha apparently sort of fell coming out of the ring, but was that supposed to happen? Because when Sasha was doing her tope suicida, she looked like she caught the ropes and fell, but Asuka was going up for a kick anyway.
I don't remember. Sorry, but I don't remember if she caught the rope or not. But the kick, it was intentional. Obviously, where Asuka was supposed to counter it, but it was more so the way she landed. A lot of people worried, but a lot of fucking massive bumps in that match.
That was never going to happen. That when she jumped through the ropes like that, no way. That was dangerous as fuck. Is that what Mick Foley was complaining about? Is that what you said she was to stop doing?
I think so. I've
never seen that, but it was before I seen the match. But
he's like, stop doing the things that got me over. I'm the only one that can do these things.
But what a match that was.
That was good.
That was pay-per-view quality, that.
So who do you think...
The pay-per-view would have got slightly more time, obviously, but...
So, we've obviously got Asuka's going to the Rumble regardless. I think she's going to be going for Charlotte, and Ricky, you said a few months ago we're going to get Asuka Charlotte, and it looks like it's happening. You must be stoked beyond belief.
Yeah, I am. I really, really am. And what I said about AJ and Naka, give these two like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it'll be amazing. But Charlotte is my absolute favourite female wrestler, and I really want her to have a long, long title run. So maybe
I actually think... Sorry, I just a thought. I actually think you predicted this at Mania nearly about a year ago. You said you wanted to see this at Mania, Asuka and Charlotte, even when Asuka was still in NXT.
I did. So, I said Asuka needs to come up, stay unbeaten, and you crown Charlotte again, or you have her having a long title run, and then you build it to Asuka versus Charlotte. And at the time, Charlotte still had her undefeated streak at pay-per-views, and I says it should have been streak versus streak at that time.
That's what you said. I know. Yeah. What a good prediction, I think.
Thanks.
Has there been any women apart from Alexa announced for the Women's Chamber match?
Yes. I don't know if it's been announced, but I saw a rumour that it was going to be Bayley, Alexa, Nia Jax, Sasha. I think it was actually 2 NXT women.
Surely one of the Absolution would have been it.
Sonya
Maybe
Deville.
I don't know if it was NXT. I almost want to say Nikki Cross was meant to be in it, but I might just be making that up.
Where are you hearing this madness from?
No, I think that was. I think I am making it up though.
Don't get my hopes up.
I can't remember who else.
She shouldn't be allowed in a chamber. She'll rip it apart with her
and
teeth.
that's why I said I think I'm getting mixed up. But right, here it is here. So right, here we go. It is the 4 are named: Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Bayley, Sasha. I don't know where I got Nikki Cross from, but it was Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose.
I think
there you go. So the 2 for Absolution then.
That's the rumoured. And that was coming from Dave Meltzer, says that local advertising in Las Vegas is listing them as the participants in the Elimination Chamber.
Cards subject to change, of course.
Absolutely. And can I also say, because I just mentioned his name, Meltzer has put out something, apparently the rumoured WrestleMania card. If you want to hear it.
I don't think I do actually.
Sorry, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna. I don't know. There was something mentioned earlier. I was thinking about saying.
I mean, I'd rather.
I don't really like the rumours at this stage of the year. To be honest with you, I like the suspense.
Well, I keep saying I'm going to make this.
I'm looking at it just now, in a lot of the matches that I'm seeing is ones that we've actually already predicted. So
I could imagine, I could probably tell you 3 of them we were thinking, if I'm honest with you. Obviously there's one there already, and I can. AJ.
I mean, there might be listeners who are not wanting to hear it, so we'll just say them off air.
Yeah, no, of course.
And I keep saying I want to make this a wholly kayfabe podcast. That'll never happen.
One day we will have a strictly kayfabe podcast.
JR, your bae Roman was on the receiving end of a loss from Miz, so Miz retains the IC title. Where do you think that's going to go next? Who do you think's going to? We know what's happening with Roman, but what do you think is in store for Miz in the lead up to Mania?
Oh, that's a bit of a spoiler, because I kind of know that.
Same.
Well,
so I will say nothing.
Fantastic insight there. Thanks very much.
Just if you're going to say that you want to keep it kayfabe, you don't want to spoil it, you can't go, and up next, who do you think's next for this guy? There's nobody,
right? Well,
apart from the main one.
Well, let's think. What other things can we talk about? What else did you like from Raw this week then? I liked the new setup. They had some new graphics. It looks like they might be moving the commentary table back to the ringside. Oh, by the way, shout out to Jonathan Coachman. The coach is back.
Aye. Mm-hmm. Does this mean we're not going to get Booker anymore on commentary?
Do you know?
Yes. They mentioned he was doing the pre-show and that again. That'd be his
Booker is
his bae. Aye, that was mentioned at the start of the show. Aye.
But Booker just sounds amazing when he's doing commentary. See, if you don't listen to him, but you just listen to his tonality, it's quite good.
See,
he gets pretty exciting.
I was very annoyed with Booker. Right, in this day and age where head injuries are very serious in terms of how they're dealt with in the press and stuff, Jason Jordan, kayfabe, has smashed his head off the post, the sort of video post, and he's all stunned and dizzy. And Corey says he shouldn't be going on with that match, and Booker says, he just took one for the team, he took it on the chin, he's fine. Like, hold on a minute. Your man...
This kid's having an aneurysm.
And you're just like, it's fine, just get him back in the ring.
Well, now that you said about Raw, we actually had 3 good matches on Raw.
There were.
And I'm very, very disappointed Finn Balor's not going to be in the Elimination Chamber.
Are you more disappointed that it's at the hands of Cena, or just that he's not going to be in the chamber?
I'm disappointed, and I'm kind of surprised he's not going to be in the chamber. There's something wrong with Cena at the moment, isn't there? I know.
Do you know what?
I thought that myself.
He's broken.
It's ever since that Roman Reigns match. I remember.
Totally broke him.
I remember.
Broken Cena.
It might have been John Ross actually that was texting. I think it was actually, and we both said straight away something's not right here. Why is he acting like this goofy sort of way? And it's like, what are you doing? What's going on? And I don't know what's going on. I'm not liking it at all, and I just don't see the need of having him in that match.
I think I know
He
what it
ruined
is.
that match.
He really did.
Was that great, that match?
And I remember saying at the time, it was purely John Cena that ruined that match. The last 10 minutes I kind of enjoyed, but see that first 15 odd minutes, Cena ruined that match completely.
I know, that's what I think. You're right. It's something that Roman Reigns match completely. It just destroyed him as a person.
I think I know what it is. I think
I know. I think I've looked at. I think what's going to happen. To be honest with you, I've got my prediction to the why he's acting like this.
No, I think he's actually. See, when he said he broke down the fourth wall when they were doing the promos with Roman Reigns and said, "I broke the fourth wall down." I think he has, and he can't help but troll constantly. I mean, look what he did with when he had Finn up for the FU. He was doing the too sweet sign. So he just can't help himself. He's just trolling the internet, and he'll need to be careful, because if he keeps doing this part-time schedule for the next couple of years, fighting against all the internet darlings, going over the internet darlings and using their sort of gimmicks and their promos against them. All that love that they've received from his amazing matches the last few years, it's going to go away if he just keeps trolling folk.
Have you seen his schedule between now and Mania? He's on Raw every week, pretty much.
Is he?
I was quite surprised to read that. It said John Cena's schedule between now and Mania might decide what his match will be at Mania or something, but I didn't go as far down as to see what eventually come to. But every week I was getting to it was like, I couldn't see anything missing. There was a couple of even SmackDown appearances in that for the build up to that Fastlane. So I was quite surprised. Honestly.
And this is the thing, like this guy came out with his promo a few years ago talking about The Rock being part time and all this nonsense, and it's like, you're doing the exact same yourself, but you're just doing it in a much lesser scale, mate. Like, you're not as big as The Rock, but yet you're still effing off to Hollywood and doing what you want, coming back. And granted, fine, I don't even know if you had any influence on the Roman match, because for me that would have been a Vince decision, but you're not exactly helping put people over in a sense. Like, fine, you're giving Elias a rub with working with him, but we all know if at least a one-on-one match, we know Cena's going to win that. Cena versus Finn was great, and it was brilliant to see, but you could have kept them separate.
They could have. See if Finn was eliminated from the Chamber match by someone else in the current roster, I wouldn't have had that big a problem, depending who it was, but that really upset me.
Probably will be a controversial opinion I've got in that Chamber, but I think it's slightly leaning towards something they tried that happened before a build up to a Mania match, where I think he will be eliminated because they'll probably try and attempt this Undertaker match with him. I think that's what I think is going to happen.
I can't be bothered talking about the Undertaker anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's controversial.
Watch your mouth.
No, come on, Ricky.
To the Mania side,
We buried him on this podcast. We buried him.
We had a vigil for him and everything.
Did you? I missed that week.
No, what we done was we pulled the lever and we put cement all over him. I like Paul Bearer, rest in peace.
Oh God!
Shout out to future Hall of Famers, the Dudley Boys.
Yeah, I forgot they were that much. But overall, Raw was good. Those matches were good, but like I said, that was my big sort of bugbear about it, was the fact that we got, not so much that we got Cena and Finn, the fact that Finn's just not in the chamber.
They've got other plans for him, clearly.
I still think
there must be something else. I'm not sure what it is.
I still think it's Miz. I think at the Chamber we'll get Miz Taraj versus the Balor Club, and then at Mania it'll be Finn versus Miz for the title. And
so, who do you think the other three are going to be in the Chamber then?
Right,
Roman.
So Roman. Right, who have we got? We've got Elias, we've got Cena, and
Braun.
Roman.
Kane maybe, or see you storylined out it now?
No, has him gone.
The big red mare.
I think so. Because he lost that match anyway against Braun.
Who did? Sorry, aye, correct.
I think the Miz is going to be in it. So there goes your theory with the 2-on-3.
I think there might be another surprise sort of upcoming sort of incident. I think if one of the Seth and JJ were in fit, one of them would have been in it.
I can see.
So I'm going to go Roman, Miz, and maybe I'll go slightly left field and I'll say Cesaro.
I can see them doing a random and putting Bray in there, actually.
Oh, I actually
could.
Just a wee spanner in the works.
I love Bray Wyatt.
I don't, but it's not his fault.
Aye, you could be right. Maybe not the Miz, but Roman, Bray, and randomly Matt Hardy.
We'll see. I'm just.
Did we do the fact check on the Rumble? Because it was Finn. He eliminated 4 people, and the only other person to eliminate 4 people was my bae, Roman Reigns.
Yes, Roman.
He's stacking them up.
So Finn did really, really well.
Did you see my tweet as soon as he eliminated Seth Rollins? Just tweeted out saying, "I love Roman."
No.
And then we lost about 15 followers.
It's fine, don't worry about it. Just because they can't appreciate how good this guy's in the ring and they're still obsessed with booing him because they think that's a cool thing to do.
Aye, I'm fine with it now.
Fucking idiots.
I'm fine with it being a cool thing to do.
I mean, everybody says you suck to Kurt Angle, and it's went on so long that it's like it's not even like a negative thing.
Aye, it's a term of endearment.
It's like a celebration. Do you know what I mean?
Like, Kurt, yeah, you suck, Kurt.
You suck.
SmackDown was quite interesting this week.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky?
I think. So we've got KO and Sami next week.
Yep.
You know,
Seen
I think it was.
before?
I think
It's different this time, though.
I think this was sent into the Facebook Messenger group. I don't know who it was. It might have been James that put it in, actually, and I thought it was sensational stuff. That next week, when the match starts, they both should just roll out the ring and
I
walk
think
away.
it was Rich that said that.
Was it Rich? Either one of them. Shout out to you guys. That was genius. That's a great idea.
Shout out to One Nation Radio, SMC Wrestling Podcast, and Keeping It Strong Style. There we go. Nice plug there.
So I thought that was genius.
Have you got that on a bit of paper?
He's just ate a bit of paper now, so.
I thought it was a genius idea, and it'd be absolutely brilliant if they'd done that.
Do you mean together?
They've already started a tease of these two breaking up, and I think we are going to lead to these two having a match at Mania.
The question,
I kind of think the Usos are now going to feud with the Bludgeon Brothers as well.
see, on the face of it, that might sound daft, but the Usos and the Wyatts had amazing matches, so I'm all for them.
I think that would be good.
Oh,
I think that would be really good. The other thing, where the fuck was Dolph Ziggler? Like I said earlier on.
Who cares?
From a storyline point of view, it makes no fucking sense to me. But I'll end it on a positive note. It is Rusev Day.
Oh yes, that's an over guy, by the way. If you've seen one,
give him the title. I love Bobby Roode, or Bob Roode as he calls it.
Bob Roode. Can I say something about Rusev, by the way?
The title.
Can I say something? See, Rusev, see if you give him garbage, he fucking makes it decent. I know that fucking Ziggler storyline that he had was shit, but he said some fucking hilarious shit. Like Dog Ziggler and all that kind of shit. Like, fucking, why is he the best? Why is he the best?
He is, like, literally give him every single title in the company, in the history of the company, just give him all the titles.
As Hardcore Holly once said, give me all the titles and have me beat everybody. That's what Hardcore Holly said, apparently.
I literally would have Rusev just run through the entire roster.
He's so likeable.
He really is. He's sensational. And I know he's not going to win the title next week, but it would be amazing to see it though.
This is gearing up for the US title being the ladder match at Mania, I think.
Probably, because they always have a ladder match, don't they?
Aye. Although Bobby Roode and Rusev in a ladder match doesn't sound like, it doesn't sound like a ladder match, so they'll need to have a
I don't think we got one last year, did we?
No.
No.
So you don't know, but I would like to see another sort of multi-man
See the
ladder match, similar to the one, was it 31 when Dean Ambrose really, I don't know how he wasn't injured after that.
They had two ladders match that year, didn't they?
At that event?
Mm-hmm. I thought they did.
No,
Did they not?
I think maybe somebody might have potentially climbed a ladder again, but I don't think there was two ladder matches, no.
That was when Daniel Bryan went it though.
No, I'm talking about the one Sting, was it? It was Sting year.
Oh, right, okay, right.
that was the same
That
year.
31. That was 31, aye.
See the whole
That was one where Dean injured himself really badly.
the whole Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn thing. I'm fine if they wrestle, it's different this time. But I wonder, is it Sami that's going to be the heel? And are they going to turn Kevin Owens face?
No, we said that, but who knows?
Well, look,
Like,
interesting.
I
I
know they had a whole storyline saying that, this is the last time we'll have a fight, but let's be honest, and Clive, you said it before, I will happily watch them to have a fight match every single week because it's so good to watch.
and it'll be an interesting dynamic if the good guy, bad guy roles are reversed this time. Mm-hmm. And I've heard people say before that if you had Kevin Owens as a babyface of the company, he could be really successful. So that would be an interesting experiment, to say the least, because he's a damn good heel. So I'm not sure how I would feel about him being a babyface, but for a start, it would open up different opponents. So it's interesting. Mm-hmm. I'll be keeping an eye on that one. Carmella nearly cashed in Money in the Bank. Did anyone get a fright when they saw that?
That was interesting.
The funniest thing about that was when she was sort of like kicking Charlotte to see if she was like still out of it. That was found that kind of funny. I didn't really get scared, I suppose. I thought she wasn't going to cash in, but I really hope she doesn't cash in before Mania, because that will take away the potential dream match of Charlotte and Asuka.
I think that's why they did it, because a lot of people want Asuka and Charlotte, and when Carmella came out, people were thinking, oh, what the hell's going on here? So maybe it was just a wee tease, and something will happen after Mania. I don't want them to Baron Corbin her. They can't do it straight away again. They need to, in hindsight, retrospect, maybe they put the briefcase on the wrong woman, but they've done it, so they need to deal with it eventually, and they've got until June to deal with it. So hopefully she improves, because she didn't have the best of performances in the Rumble.
And that's the thing, like, if she does cash in, she's cashing in on Charlotte or potentially Asuka.
I know.
And could you? No. That's what, like, that for me. If she cashed in on Asuka and win, it doesn't do anything with the fact that people can be like, oh, well, Asuka was out of it or whatever. She was attacked. No, like, her, when she eventually loses, it's got to go to someone truly legit.
I think this is a case of, like, the briefcase is making her and not the other way around. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's just not seen it that level. Do you know what I mean? It's not like Seth Rollins when he carried it that long. Like, he was getting to the point where he was the majority on the show. Do you know what I mean? Like, Carmella, you know what I mean? Like, she's not that interesting.
I know.
Was Carmella quite big in NXT, or?
See, she was the valet for Enzo and Cass, and then when Enzo and Cass got promoted, she was getting more matches.
Came back.
And she was doing alright.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest then, I actually disagree. The Rumble was the best I'd seen her then, because I don't really remember in her matches really doing much, to be honest with you. I was quite impressed with the Rumble. I was actually fast forwarding the segment in SmackDown, because I thought that was the end of it. I thought it was moving on to something else, so that took me by surprise. And I thought, she actually done alright that Rumble, so I wouldn't have been totally upset if it happened, but it would have been obviously a big surprise, because obviously I was looking forward to seeing Asuka and Charlotte is what I've got my heart set on as well. So, but no, I didn't mind appearance in the Rumble.
Aye. Well, I just think there were others that were much better.
Oh, aye, there was, but I hadn't really. Tell me a match you thought she was great in. I don't think she was that great in that Money in the Bank match she won.
Aye, because it was James Ellsworth that won it. Well, she won it on her own the second time, I suppose.
Aye, that's what I mean. Aye.
I have to say, I was disappointed in Tamina Snuka's Rumble performance. I thought there would be more from her, but I just thought she would have lasted a bit longer than she did, because Nia Jax was in for a while and they could have had a face-off.
Well, Tamina was out with in minutes?
I know, that was... Here, where has that Lana been since she started wrestling? Did you see her kicking shit out of folk?
She was getting bullied at first when she came in, and she totally turned it around.
I know. Shout out to Lana. That was an excellent 5-10 minutes you had in that Rumble.
I think obviously because she never had that background of coming into wrestling, and she's never really trained, and maybe the training itself is starting to work. But don't know.
I loved the Beth Phoenix and Nia Jax face off. That was good. Brief, as much as it was brief, but I still liked it.
And then I liked them where Natty and Beth Phoenix hugged it, and then Natalya threw her out.
That's right, yeah.
But overall, it was quite a decent SmackDown. But the Rusev thing just really made me happy. But the Dolph thing just makes no sense. And like I said, I understand how you feel about Dolph, but I've always kind of liked him. And I don't know. Strange.
Dog Ziggler, man.
Dog Ziggler. Get off my screen.
Yeah, get off my mind. Gonna scrape my brain out so I can fucking forget that guy.
See, there's not much more to talk about, but I was actually wanting... There's been an interesting development in New Japan, JR. For anyone who doesn't know, Kenny Omega has actually lost the US title to Jay White. Correct?
Aye, that's correct.
And it looks like Kenny Omega has also been booted out of the Bullet Club, or some threads of the Bullet Club, by Cody. And Kota Ibushi came out and reunited with Kenny to sort of start up the Golden Lovers again. Have you been watching it, and what are your thoughts on that? Because I thought that was quite interesting. This all happened during, arguably the best overall weekend that WWE have had in a long time, so it fell under the radar for me, but when I saw it on Twitter I was quite shocked at all the developments that had happened with it.
Aye, the whole thing was amazing. It was done to perfection. You know, he loses his title, this guy comes out, he wants to challenge for it. That's a shitty thing to do. Kenny's like, no, I want to fucking go for it, what's going on? And then there's a bit of pushing and shoving, and people are going out, and the moment that Cody turned on Kenny Omega, and you just seen that look in his eye, it's the casual American Psycho kind of thing, where he just looks like a sociopath, and then he hits his finishing move, which was sold amazingly, and then just gets up and he's just doing that maniacal laugh. I just who the fuck is that? Where was this Cody? Do you know what I mean? Seriously, this guy's fucking amazing. It was really, really good.
What are your thoughts on? Sorry, on you go.
Cody's a superstar. An absolute superstar. No other word for him. He's an absolute superstar.
What do you think about Jay White? He's dividing opinion online. I was impressed with him at Wrestle Kingdom. Some people think he's just so, but you're a New Japan resident, so what are your thoughts on Switchblade?
So, good old Switchblade, I think that it's not a good gimmick to just slap on somebody after coming back on an excursion. I don't know if that's what they're doing with the white guys, just trying to give them characters. But in this case, I just don't believe Jay White looks like a crazy knife guy, and it looks a bit creepy, but his wrestling skills are absolutely fine. You've got to realise he's only been away I think he was away 1 or 2 years at Ring of Honor, and he was doing alright there, but it wasn't as if he's went away and did 6 years and come back. He's still got a lot of development, quite clearly, do you know what I mean, to get to. So they're giving him the US belt. That's good. Fucking give him it for a while. Let him develop his character. Let him develop his new style of wrestling. Because I think I seen a gif online of this match where he was just doing a simple thing, he jumped over or something like that, and he just did this kind of unique kind of pose. I'm like, no, that's fucking cool. That shit that AJ Styles does, you know. AJ Styles is he fucking does a fucking springboard fucking across the forearm or something like that.
Phenomenal
and
forearm.
That's just that's a finisher. Do you know what I mean? How's that a finisher? like that's like a normal move to anybody else, but because he's got that like that slight uniqueness. But I seen that in Jay White. That's what I'm trying to say, you know.
I will say, right, I saw that match, and Jay White had, I would say, arguably the greatest kick-out thing I've ever seen in my life. It was, I don't know if any of you have saw it yet.
No, I've not.
So he's on his knees in Omega. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the actual the names of the move. So Omega literally runs at him at 100 miles per hour, and it looks like he's legit knocked him out with like a sort of flying knee sort of thing or a boot. So Jay White's out, completely sparked out. Kenny's lying on him, so he's got his back on him. You can see him smiling. He's like he's counting, almost sort of counting along. It was 1, 2, and the ref doesn't go to 3, and Kenny like turns around like what the hell's going on? And the ref goes like, look at his shoulder. He literally lifted his shoulder like an inch off the mat.
Did he? Nice.
Yes.
And it was genius. It was like the guy's just spent, getting no energy, can't even properly kick out, and literally just lift his shoulder off ever so slightly. And it was like, that's amazing. That was pretty good to see.
I do appreciate innovative ways of kicking out at the two.
Because it was like Kevin Owens' finger. And the great thing about, I'm sort of going off, but the great thing about Kevin Owens touching the rope with his finger, it was like perfect. It wasn't like he could stretch out any more to grab the rope. He was literally at full stretch and just touched the rope with his finger. And this one was just equally as great.
Good stuff. Am I right in saying, JR, is Will Ospreay fighting Takahashi 1-on-1 soon?
I don't actually know for that.
I'm trying to remember.
I think that, I mean, the way that the title went was it was Ospreay and then fucking Martin Scurll fucking beat him, and then it went to a fatal 4-way, and then Ospreay won it again. So technically, that's a rematch. Should be a rematch with Marty Scurll. But I don't know, man. They've not pulled the trigger on Takahashi for I don't know, maybe about 6 months or something like that now. He's not had the title.
I'll need to get the
I can't remember.
Keeping It Strong Still guys to remind me who it is that Takahashi's fighting, because out of the many folk that impressed me at the Wrestle Kingdom, Hiromu was, whoa, that time bomb move. What is that all about?
He's a crazy guy. He's fucking insane, man. It's great. He's got a lot of personality. He's definitely, and he's just not scared to put his body through shit.
I know. Right, thanks for your New Japan roundups. I know, Barry, you don't watch it that much, so we'll get you back in. And how about we finish off the show with our usual quiz? Are you all up for that?
That'd be excellent. Yep.
Okay.
Fire away.
Happy and good night, guys. Catch you later.
Catch you later. Yeah. Thanks for the update.
No, I'll stay on, man.
Right. I need silence so I can easily splice in the music, which I'll do now.
It's fucking quiz time with Ricky and Clive and friends. A fucking WWE quiz.
Right, so this week, due to Ronda Rousey now officially part of the WWE, I thought I would keep it a theme with having celebrities that have been in WWE over the years. Alright, for any new listeners, in this order, JR, can you give me your buzzer sound, please?
Oh boy.
Barry?
It's me, it's B-A-Z.
And Ricky?
I spit in the faces of people who don't want to be cool.
There we go, so that's the buzzers. Right,
What's yours?
Mine's is, oh, it's true, it's damn true. But I've got the questions this week, so you won't hear that tonight, apart from there.
How many questions is there?
I've got 5 and 2 tiebreakers.
Okay.
Number 1. Which US comedian appeared in the 2001 Royal Rumble?
It's me, it's B-A-Z.
Barry?
Drew Carey.
Correct. In 2011, who did Michael Tyson knock out on Raw?
It's me, it's B-A-Z.
Barry?
Chris Jericho.
Correct. JR, I know there's a time window where you weren't watching this, so I do apologise, and I know that's why you wanted to leave, but you might get this one. Alright. Which actor had a mini feud with Triple H in the autumn or fall of 1999? I'll give you a clue. He clocked Triple H whilst he was doing commentary for SmackDown. I think it was September or August time.
Oh boy! Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yes.
Yes.
Get to the chopper. Number 4.
Oh.
Number 4. Which real life feud between two TV personalities, at the time TV personalities, did WWE recreate in the form of a match in August 2007? And it was cringeworthy beyond belief.
Oh boy!
JR?
Was it Hillary versus somebody? Oh, blah, maybe? Can't fucking remember.
You're kind of on the right lines there. 2007.
Oh fuck! I can't even remember that far back. That was years ago.
Barry or Ricky?
What was your question again, sorry?
So there was a real life feud between two TV personalities, and
Right.
WWE recreated this in the form of a match between two, not wrestlers or anything, in August 2007. And one of them, they were at the time TV personalities. One of them now has a different job role.
Without any clues, I've just erased this with my memory clearly, because I've no idea.
Right. Well,
No, I think I know one of them. I just don't know who the other one is. What was it, a Raw you said?
Uh-huh.
In autumn of 2000, or August 2007?
Mm-hmm. I'll give you a 5-second countdown. 5, 4,
Second.
3,
Count.
2, 1, 0.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Ricky?
Donald Trump, one of them?
Yes. Do you remember the other?
Who the Right, it obviously wasn't Vince, because that was...
Right.
Right, come on.
I'll give you the point.
I don't know, Gino don't know.
I'll give you the point. It was Rosie O'Donnell.
I don't even remember that at all.
So it's 2 points JR, 2 points Barry, 1 point Ricky. Number 5. Who was Diesel's valet at his WrestleMania match with HBK at Mania X1? Mania 11.
It's me.
Barry.
I've got it wrong now anyway, so it doesn't matter. It wasn't Pamela Anderson, it was our lassie.
Pamela Anderson.
I'll need an answer.
I've said Pamela Anderson.
No, that is correct.
I thought
I got it right.
No, hold on, I know what the confusion is. She started off, I'm sure she was with Michaels at the Rumble. Aye, that was it.
Aye.
She was at the Rumble as well. She ended up with Michaels, and then there was a screw job and she ended up with... Actually, I don't think that happened through that match. I didn't investigate further into that. I think she still led Michaels to the ring and then ended up with Diesel.
You can get back to us on the chronology of that next week.
Aye, interesting. I'll watch the full pay-per-view and I'll get to that.
Well, Barry, you won the quiz this week. Congratulations. Do you want to hear the tiebreakers anyway?
Why not?
Which feud was Jericho trying to orchestrate for Mania 25? That's 2009. With a celebrity and an actor. Just shout out the answers if you know it.
I can tell people along with the answer anyway, so they can help me. But it's a guy that starred in the wrestler.
Mickey Rourke.
Aye. Name a celebrity who has appeared in 2 WrestleManias back to back.
Snoop Dogg.
In matches. Well, not actually.
Oh,
Matches,
No, well, was it in the
matches?
first one? I don't think he
But this
actually...
was a celebrity feud at the same time.
Is that a woman or
I
male?
spit in the face of people who don't recruit. This is wrong, right? But I'm just going to The Rock.
No, well, good answer.
Kind of true. Kind of true.
It was Mr. T.
I spit in the face, so it was.
I pity the fool who gets the Ricky and Clive quiz wrong.
You didn't get no points. See, old lady don't love you. Come over here and I'll show you what a real man is.
I need some
Tell
strips.
it, Rocky.
Oh, Clubber Lang. That was amazing, that one. Right, ladies and gents, and other people of different genders, thanks for listening to the show tonight. We got through quite a lot. I thought it would be a lot longer than it did, but we finished early tonight, guys. We started early, we finished early, so thanks for your contribution. JR, have you got any farewell wishes?
Hope to be on the podcast more often. Fingers crossed.
Barry?
Not really any sort of wrestling shout-outs, but I'd just like to point out the fact that throughout the podcast I've been drinking this new recipe of the Iron Brew. I say it doesn't get any better, it's just disgusting. So I'll just read this short letter that I've typed up to send to Bar, if that's alright. Clive, won't take you long. It's, Dear Bar, fuck off.
Ricky?
No, just shout out to the guys on Social Suplex and shout out to my Philadelphia Eagles who are playing the Super Bowl on Sunday.
Good luck to the Philadelphia Eagles. Or
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Or as
Eagles fly.
as Michael Cole calls them, Philadelphia.
Aye, that was weird. That was weird.
What was that all about?
Philadelphia versus Glasgow.
Shout out again to One Nation Radio, SMC, Wrestling Podcast and Keeping It Strong Style. Shout out as well to Kyle Moores, who won the T-shirt giveaway contest. He
shout out to James as well. He cracks me up, by the way, on that Facebook chat. He really does.
Aye, James is a good guy.
He's hilarious.
And he doesn't like Tommaso Ciampa. Shout out to Rich, who's been dropping some wrestling related raps recently. He did a Royal Rumble rap review, so check that out if you can. Rich Latta's page on
Some
YouTube.
really good stuff. I really like him.
There you go, right? Ricky really likes you. Once again, Kyle
You'll be
Moores.
shouting him out every week now. It's like another podcast that used to get shouted out. It doesn't anymore. Doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's still fantastic.
I'm trying to congratulate because
Just want to shout out my guys on the network, and that's all now.
His homies. Shout out to again Kyle
The
Moores.
Social Suplex.
I'm trying to announce a competition winner here, guys. Can I get a bit of order and decorum? Shout out to Kyle Moores, who won the T-shirt giveaway contest by rating and reviewing the Social Suplex Podcast Network. Please keep doing so. You won't win a T-shirt this time, but just keep doing it. All right.
You'd already said all that.
Well,
I know.
You said congratulations to the guy, and then
I was going to apologise to the guy there saying we'd ruined his moment, but even for apology, I was going to fling in a DVD for him, Unforgiven 99 if you want. There you go.
So
It's VHS, sorry mate.
So shout out to Kyle Moores, who has won a T-shirt.
Jesus Christ, this is a repeat of this, I mustn't they?
Right. We're going to call it quits. Thanks for listening. Keep downloading, keep rating, keep reviewing. Pass it on to your friends and pass it on to your parents as well. They'll like to listen to this.
What about the guy on the competition? So you get a
Oh, aye. Right. Night, guys. Thanks for listening.
Good night.
See you next week.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, good night.
good night.